Hi, and welcome to this episode of Tennis Volley Talk with Brian Danielson. This week, what I'm going to be covering would have been having a phone interview, and it fell through at the last moment, so I'm a little late in getting this particular one out. I may be out of town for next week, but I might try to bring my stuff with me and see if I might be able to set it up and have a podcast from a remote location. I don't know, but thinking about it. But anyway, last week was the Elk River tennis tournament that I told you I was going to be in, which I was, and I did okay. I wish I could have done better, but I ended up I got lost in the first round in the A Open. A singles, and then I went into the consolation round, and I won a consolation, and then I went into the semis, and then I lost in the semis before I would have gone into the consolation round trophy round. But anyway, I started out in the semi good, and first three games went real good. I was dominating, and then my knee started hurting me, and I couldn't push off to get to a backhand, and couldn't get my serve going right. And then I just, I kind of, nothing went right from then on. And so I ended up losing. But that happens whenever at times you want your body to work, but it doesn't want to work. And that's not a very good thing. But anyway, I didn't do very well, except in the semis. I made it that far in the consolation round. And then on Sunday I played doubles with one of the friends I've played with before, Andy MacArthur. He's a local Elk River tournament player that I've known for many years myself. With that, so in that case, we ended up playing, and then we ended up losing in the first round also. And with that, we then went into the consolation round, and we made it to the semis of the consolation. And there again, it was one of those hard-fought battles with that. And we just came up just short the second set. They beat us 6-4 the first set. We jumped out, and we were 4-2 ahead, and then we just couldn't get anything back, and serve went to heck in a handbasket. And then we ended up losing 6-4 again. So yeah, it just wasn't too good. Just couldn't get the ball over the net, even volleys or anything. So it wasn't that hard. My return went to not very well. And so we just couldn't hit the ball. So we ended up losing in the semis of the consolation and doubles. So, you do what you can, and live for another day, and hitting the ball, and try to do better next time, I guess, what you would say, and what you could do with that. So, with that, I hope that you YouTubers like, subscribe, and comment on my YouTube channel. And then also, you podcasters, you're going to be hearing something about the racket of the day coming up. And so if you want to take a look at that, go to my YouTube channel, Tennis Volley Talk, and then you can take a look at what I'm talking about with that racket. But also, you podcasters, like, subscribe, and comment on that on the podcast too. So with that too. So anyway, this week, kind of in a way, they have an Asia swing. I think they're in. Let's see. Not sure. They're in Asia this week. Next week, they're going to be starting in Beijing for a tournament on the WTA side. But this week also started the Lavers Cup, which is such a good format. It's been going on for 7 years now. And with that, so, in that case, that's always a good format. It's a set of singles, 2 singles, and then doubles. And so then it's 1 point for The first day, I think it's 2 points for the second day and 3 points for the third day that they have it over the weekend. So it's tied at 4-4 right now, with today playing. Ben Shelton played Carlos Alcaraz, and he lost 6-4, 6-4. And then right now, Alexander Zverev is playing Taylor Fritz. So hopefully Taylor will take the lead, and then we can end up taking a back team. World can do that. However, with that, after 7 years, the captains on both of those teams have decided to then step down. Bjorn Borg, which I've had the privilege of taking pictures of over the years that I've seen his matches, and then John McEnroe will be set. Well, and Borg is Team Europe captain, and then John McEnroe's Team World captain, and he'll be stepping down at the end of this also this year too. But who will be replacing, though, is for Team Europe, it will be Yannick Noah. And then with Team World, it will be Andre Agassi. And he will be they will begin their tenure of first-time captains and being the captain of the Lavers Cup for next year. It's in Berlin, Germany this year, so that's really nice area from what I gather and what I've seen on the TV, and showed a little bit of Berlin. So it is really nice too. And then again too, with the one, I have been kind of giving you hints in a few episodes back about who do you think the tennis player is, and I kind of gave you hints that they had doubles experience. They were had a brother, and I gave you the experience of the tournaments he's been in and what he did in his playing career. And nobody really answered it, but to give you, I did give you that it was a brother combination, and one lefty, one righty. And so nobody really guessed, but actually it was, and some people could have thought the Bryan brothers, but it wasn't. It was actually Patrick McEnroe, John McEnroe's brother, which is also helping him out in the Lavers Cup this weekend too. And, with that too, I've also just wanted to let you know that too. And later on, I will then let you know about possibility of another tennis player. Guess who it might be? So, I'll let you know about that some of my next episodes to follow. And hopefully I'll have a over-the-phone interview or an in-house guest. I don't know, but we'll take it from there. And so with that, also, I did one time I did give you a recipe from one of the recipe books that was written in 1973, and tennis cookbook. And today, what I'm going to do is give you it's called My Advantage Chocolate Butterscotch Pie. So any of you pie makers out there or bakers, take note. And if you make it, let me know how it is, because I'd like to know that too. That would be fun to actually find out if anybody made it and do it that way. But you YouTubers, you like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you like. If you like these little tidbits of things I do and the over-the-phone calls, be sure and do that. You podcasters, you're going to hear Racket of the Day, what I'm going to be showing. And if you want to take a look at that, then be sure to go to my YouTube channel, Tennis Volley Doc. But anyway, for the My Advantage Chocolate Butterscotch Pie, you get 3/4 cup brown sugar packed, 1/3 cup flour, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 2.5 cups of milk, 6 tablespoons of chocolate syrup, the kind you pour on a sundae. So Heinz in the squeeze bottle. 2 egg yolks beaten, 2 tablespoons of butter or margarine, half teaspoon of vanilla, and 9-inch baked pie shell. So you would get the shell, baked pie shell, and then you could then do that. But then combine sugar, flour, salt in a medium saucepan. Stir in the milk, chocolate syrup, and beaten egg yolks. Cook, cover medium heat until thick, stirring consistently. Remove from heat, blend in the butter and vanilla. Pour into a baked pie shell. Cool. Chill in the refrigerator. Serve lobbed with sweetened whipped cream. Yeah, that does sound yummy. Serve 6. So just kind of in a little thing to let you know about the cookbook. And if anybody is a pie person or does want to make it, be sure and do, and let me know, comment, and tell me how it went with that. I may try to do that myself. It's pretty simple. It looks like I just got to get some of the ingredients. So with that, I just kind of wanted to let you know also that with the US Open that I was at this year was such an experience to go on. And it was so fun to go and have that experience. And then also being on the subway and experiencing that whole situation with the subway. And people were so helpful even on the subway. Everybody was doing their own thing, but then they were very helpful whenever I needed the help in finding my way to where I needed to find my way and everything, and having the experience of being at Grand Central Station on Lexington Avenue in Manhattan, New York, which was just unbelievable to see. Just like any big hustle and bustle of any city, but it was all really condensed. There was a lot of people walking the streets too. So it was pretty fun. Should have probably walked over maybe to Times Square or something like that. I don't know. But I was kind of pressed for time because I was trying to get over to the US Open at the time for Fan Appreciation Week that I went to. And then being able to see the stars that I saw, Emma Navarro and Sabalenka and Zverev and Djokovic and Stefanos Tsitsipas and Gael Monfils and Demir and Humbert, Rublev, Bublik, all the pros that I got to see. What an experience to be able to see those guys and those people hit the ball like they do. It's just unbelievable to see how they hit it and what timing they have. And to me, sometimes it just doesn't look like they're that muscular at all, but what timing they have and hand-eye coordination. Here I am struggling to catch up with the ball sometimes on a return, and I don't even hit it into the net, and they're just like, bam, it's right there, and they just hit that return back, and it's just amazing in itself too. So with that in mind, I just do have the racket of the day here. It's actually a Davis racket, Ted Davis racket. High Point is what the name of the racket is. So the High Point racket is kind of like maybe a little lower. It has the same kind of look right here that the Imperial has, and about the thin throat of the racket like the Imperial had. But it's a Tad Davis racket. And Tad Davis, actually, it was founded by a T.A. Davis in the 1930s. He actually made the rackets in his garage so that him and his friends could play. And I like the brown, along with then the white wood here on the throat of the racket. So it's kind of a nice combination there. And then the white little mark here to kind of make the difference of the brown and then the wood. And then it has the leather handle on it. And then the symbol of the Tad Davis crest is what it is for the many time. And they've had many of these different ones through the years. And this is probably in the 30s, 40s crest is what it is. But anyway, with that racket, it's still very good shape. Yeah, and like I said, it's this probably with that, even though this is probably, I would say in the racket, in around about the 60s, 70s is when it was manufactured and made and came out for everybody in the 60s, 70s racket to late 70s in that area with the wood rackets before they came out of style with then the composite rackets or the fiberglass rackets or something of that nature. But anyway, with that, he also it was kind of in a higher upper kind of a racket that was manufactured for kind of more tennis club players back in the day when they did make those, because they did have a high finish and they were really made very well and expensive looking because they had such a shine and a varnish on them. And they made them really fancy looking too of the rackets. So those were always good too. And I had myself, I had the Imperial racket. Some people had the Imperial Deluxe. I had the Imperial. But of course, with the Imperial, like I said, had the throat that was about this thin, maybe about this here. But, because I hit the ball hard, even back in high school and hitting overheads and everything, sometimes I was actually left with holding the handle of the racket, and the head of the racket was down at the bottom of the net because the vibration and hitting it made the crack and fracture. And then I was left holding the handle of the racket with the head at the bottom of the net of the head of the racket. Unfortunately, back in the day, I sent with a letter to Davis and sent the racket to them, and I got a new racket back. So that was kind of nice. They replaced it for me with what I said happened. So with that, it was really kind of nice to be able to get two free. I got two of them. When separately they broke after a while with the way it was manufactured with the thinner head. It just kind of had maybe with the vibration, and it ended up having the crack, and then ended up breaking in that respect too. So with that, I just wanted to thank you again, and hopefully I can get something going for next week, and see if I can't possibly do a remote podcast, but I'm not sure about that. But if not, if I'm not on, I will then be back the following week, and then seeing from there if I can get something going over the phone interview or something. I did have one that was supposed to happen, but it fell through really late, and I'm so bummed about that. But it would have been a good interview, an interesting one too. So I thank you again for letting me talk and let you know about Tennis Volley Talk and my experiences and what I've done, and how I enjoy the game of tennis, as frustrating as it is for me at times, but I still get out there and try to do what I can to hit the ball and play like I do. So with that, thank you again, and everybody have a good week out there playing, and I will then talk to you next week or the week after, but hopefully next week. Thank you, and have a good week.